The stories we carry become the lives we live. So, how many of you have seen this? That there are few stories we carry with us, but they become unknowingly how we live and like what all scenes we are carrying around. So many events are there we are carrying, but they are not facts, they are stories. So, how many stories are linked with us? So, how many stories we can see that we carry from so many days, so many years, or sometimes from last so many lives? So, the stories we carry are not the facts, but we think them that they are facts. So, how many of you agree with me that we have created that story and this lifetime, the way we live, the way we think, is just because we have created those stories as facts? Maybe we've taken that thing as a fact that this is the real fact and this is not a story. So there are two different words and two different things. So we are creating them just in our mind. Have you ever met someone who seems trapped by a story that no longer exists? That story is not there, but yes, it's there in our mind. It's there with us every time. Someone called themselves shy because of an experience they had in their school 20 years back. So that experience is still there. So we can recall a story. So many years back, we had a child abuse or any word which is connected with us, which is connected with an incident. So that's a story we've created in our mind. We often assume that our lives are shaped primarily by events, a success, a failure, a heartbreak, a rejection, a disappointment. So we create all these things around us. When two people experience the same event, they have different interpretations that they create entirely different lives. So I've seen two persons, same events, same stories, but living different lives. So once I met a lady, Meera. I'm just recalling her story. She was very intelligent, very dynamic, and very good leader. She had a presentation in her office, and she had to present a script related to her work. And from last 8 days, she was working for it. And she was very, very excited to present her script. But she entered the room. She was very excited. But as soon as she put that pen drive into her screen, she was very sad. She was very disturbed. When she saw why her hands were shivering, she saw why she was not very confident. Besides, she was getting ready with her script from last so many days. But then she just started giving her presentation. After 2-3 minutes, she just had one story in her mind that, yes, I can't do this. I can't present this presentation today. Why this thought came to her mind? Can we see why this thought came to her mind? Can we see through our mind's eye? Yes, she got back so many years. She had a fear of giving presentation. In her first job, when she gave the first presentation, her boss said, "No, this won't work. I don't think this is good." And many people, they nodded. Someone laughed too. And that incident just trapped her. That incident got into her mind, and that incident was so deep that it got into deeper states of her mind. And that time, when after so many years, she was at that same stage, at that same point of time, that memory, that story that came in front of her. So how we know that this was a story and this is not a fact? Because Meera knew that this is a fact, that she can't do presentation, she can't present in front of so many people, she will ruin the presentation, because that incident created a story in her mind, and that story was very deep. So because of that, she couldn't do that presentation after so many years. But yes, when she told me that there was a change, after 5 minutes, what changed her? What was that instant energy booster that changed her brain, that changed that day, that changed her life? That she told me, and I was very astonished that sometimes incidents change our mind, sometimes incidents change our lives. So that's her story, which was very powerful. And when she told me, there was just one sentence, she just got into her mind that no, I can do this. Yes, I have prepared this presentation and I will get this job opportunity or I will get this promotion. So this was the incident, this was the time when she overpowered that thought, when she just got out of that trap, that story which she created as a fact. So then that was the time when she just got that instant click. So this is called self-motivation, but in our mind's eye, this is called programming, programming of a mind, programming and overlapping of a new incident. Many a times we listen, girls can't do this. No, this is not for girls. We can't do this because this is not meant for us. This work is not meant for us. This business is not meant for us. So why we see that? Because we've heard about from our parents, maybe from our grandparents, that no, in our family, girls can't be chef, girls can't do this. But this sentence are going to generations. They are thinking that this is the fact. Yes, this is the rule of our family, this is the fact. So if someone wants to do that thing, how to do it? How to do it? Can we see how to do it? Again, see through our mind's eye. How to do it? We want to do something, but yes, we have that line, we have that fact, we have that story in our mind. So we need to step out of that place, and we need to create a story, a new story, that yes, I can do this. And how I can do this? You need to be very strong in your mind. So many of us exactly do that. An experience lasts a few minutes. The story can last up to 10 years. So we need to think that the story is not a fact, that is just a story. So many of us forget where the story came from. We only remember the identity created by that story. So that is the identity. So more I observe people, more I notice a pattern, a different pattern about the same line, about the same story. So the events ends, but the story continues, sometimes for years and many a times for lifetimes. We rarely recognizes that story. We experience them as facts. So many of us, like Meera, we can't do it when she said, I can't do it. But instantly with that one sentence, she transformed her life, she transformed her day. So people like us don't do things like that. Be practical. Girls can't do it this. We need to remove these lines from our mind. Yes? All of you agree with me? So we need to carry good things. We need to carry positive things. But how to carry, I'll just leave on all of you. You can decide what was the story you created, what was the fact. But that was a story, but you take it as a fact. So how we can change the stories, converting into facts, because facts are different and stories are different. But we think that stories are facts. What happened to me is not important, but the story I build around what happened is important. So I think this line is for me because so many things were there in my mind when I was a child that I can't do this, I don't know how I will do that. But I created what I want to do. I didn't create what I don't want to do. So doing and I can't do it is different thing. So I want to leave you all with a question not about your future, but about your own story. What if the life you are getting, like what the life you are getting, but what you want? So can we change our story? We can change our stories on our own. So what if the life you are trying to change is being shaped by a narrative you never consciously choose? We never consciously choose our life. We never consciously choose that I want to I want to born as a girl. No one consciously choose. That's all unconsciousness. So we need to choose our life consciously because we can choose how we are living, how to live. That's the life, that's the fact, but the story is not a fact. So change your mind and we can change our destiny and we can change our life with positive affirmations, with positive thinking. And so many people got transformed with so many stories I've heard in my lifetime that thinking positive, being positive, but not acting positive, then we can't change our life. So acting positive is much more important. We need to create what we want, and the karmas, the things around us are very, very important. So how to train the mind and how to get out of that energy, the which is trapped with our energies, with our aura. So I leave that question with you all, how to remove these things, because only we and our mind and our brain can do this. No one can change our life, no one can change what to do, but yes, we can change. The most important part of a life is we cannot always rewrite what happened, but we can rewrite what it means. So sometimes when the story changes, the life changes too. So we need to change the story and not we need to change our profession or don't need to change our life. Thank you so much and goodbye.